Hello and welcome back to Madden NFL 08. I am the Red Menace, and we're currently playing in franchise mode. To summarize the last video, we started a new franchise, and we created one custom character, a running back, and then we went through a fantasy draft to set up the league. We went through the preseason and then a full season where we went 7-9, I believe, just missing the playoffs. And we've gone through these checkmarked sections of the off season, and we're getting ready to do the NFL draft. So we have these various draft events, 3 of them. You can play the College All-Star Game. You can do rookie workouts, which are a series of mini camps, which give you more information about a rookie that you might want to draft. And then we have the actual NFL draft. I think the NFL draft interface provides you with more than enough information to choose your picks without needing to do the rookie workouts. And the College All-Star Game is interesting, but it's basically just a waste of time. I've only done it once, I think, tried playing the rookie All-Star Game. So here we are at the actual draft. You can see we have a list of potential draftees, and then the projected pick. Now the draft section runs no matter what. You can change the draft speed here. I think there's a slow setting which really slows things down, so you can look through and figure out what picks are available. But you really only need it if you're, say, going to try and move up in the draft. Say you need a wide receiver really bad and want to get this Jason Leon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the breakdown. Now I've got my quarterback, who is Eli Manning. He's going to be my starter, so I don't need to draft a quarterback in the first round. I do need a tackle. I got plenty of guards. I generally try not to have more than 2 centers and defensive tackles. I have a fairly young team. Basically, I can choose whoever's best on the board. I kind of want to avoid cornerbacks, maybe, and wide receivers. I definitely need to want to pick up a QB if I find one that I like in the later rounds. But it's not a real pressing need because there'll be a free agency period after the draft, and I can pick up a quarterback there. I like to have 3 quarterbacks signed. And a tackle. I've got a good wide receiver core, I think. And my cornerbacks I like, so I don't need any to try and draft any starters in those areas. Let's go ahead, and I don't need to draft up. So, looks like we get the 10th pick. And unless I see someone who I can't live without, the primary stat I look at for offensive linemen is that one there, the strength. And I generally try not to draft anyone with less than like 34 strength. And I'm not really seeing any prospects that are standing out or jumping out at me, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wait. So I've got a guard there who also has 35 strength. Let's go back. Another thing to look at is the type. There's going to be, for linemen, it's going to be either pass blocking, run blocking, or balanced. If it's balanced, that's good, because that means he's going to be high strength. He's probably going to have a pass and run blocking in the mid-80s. He's balanced as well. I'm not sure how much weight affects the actual play, but I generally like to draft bigger guys. Got a good offensive line already. I mean, whoever I'm drafting to be a backup, kind of. Steve Hutchinson is... Yeah, my center, my left guard, well, my whole left side plus the centers. I mean, I can get 5-6 years out of them. But it's always good to have one super good backup. Now, I need the tackle, but I could transfer him, or I can change positions, edit their position, and as a tackle. They're both the same height, it's just this guy is... Well, you know what, this will be easier to tackle. So he actually has better numbers. Ugh. Yeah, I think I have to go with the guard. So we'll go ahead and we'll draft him. It's a bit high, and you can hear the crowd boo, I think, when I pick him. Generally, I decline those kind of trades. I like to have more. More picks is better. Unless you're trying to... I mean, if you want to get into the top 10, then yeah, you can trade a couple of picks for that, but... And I'm just looking to see if anyone really stands out for a cornerback. I mean, he's got a good... That'll represent his acceleration stat, which is nice to have for a cornerback. But for cornerbacks, I really look for the speed. See, this is a good wide receiver. He's tall. Um, Anything below 4.3, the shuttle time is going to have a... He'll probably have a 97, 98, maybe even a 99 speed rating. His shuttle rating, anything below 3.9 is good. He'll probably be up in the high 90s. Cone predicts agility. Doesn't really matter, and bench reps really doesn't matter for wide receivers. Wow, there's 3 6'4" wide receivers in this draft. All right there, but he's got the best stats. He probably will have the least. His catching stat will probably be the lowest. But he's a real steal. I don't really need a wide receiver, but that's hard to pass up. I think I'll go ahead and draft him. The crowd likes that one. I generally don't draft fullbacks because you can generally pick one up in free agency and you get to know what his stats are before you sign him. So I generally avoid them. The third round, we'll probably just go through and look at each position. I like a pocket quarterback. And unless you're picking in the first round, I don't really, this Zachary Taylor could be a perfectly fine corner or a backup. Either of these guys will be, so I'll probably wait till the 6th round, maybe the late or the 5th, depending on how many of the other quarterbacks have been taken, to pick up a quarterback. With halfbacks, I generally pay most attention to the shuttle speed. So the only one on here that I would really consider might be him. Again, he's a late round pick. I already picked up a wide receiver. I don't need to pick up another one. I have an extra tight end already. So there's a good tackle I could pick up. He's balanced. He's got 35 bench reps. So he's probably my most likely candidate at this point. He's a 3rd round pick. Centers, I generally find you don't get a lot of really strong centers. It's rare to see a center with the bench reps at 35. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll draft a guard or a tackle and make him edit his position and make him a center. And I generally have pretty good success with that. As far as ends go, defensive ends, I look for, you want a low shuttle time and high bench reps. If he's available in the next round, I'm probably go and draft him. Defensive tackles, the same. But I don't see anyone. It's not a very good class as far as I don't see anyone below 400 shuttle speed. Outside linebackers, I generally like a shuttle time of below 4. But not a terribly good class for that. He might be a decent 5th round pick, but his 40 time is terrible. I mean, 4.5 is probably minimum I'd look at there. So maybe him in the 6th, we'll see. He might be a good pick, his shuttle time's nothing to sneeze at. I like a tall corner, but they do have to be minimum. Minimum of at least 4 on the shuttle time, and 4-4 is good. 4-3, 4-2 is kind of what you want. He's a good 4th round pick right there, but I already have good secondary, so we'll go ahead and draft this tackle. And then if we're lucky, no, our end got picked. He's not bad. He'd make a decent or a backup, maybe.
Now on the clock, 2 seconds.
But with him still there, he's a 5th round pick. I might be able to get him. Let's go ahead and get this cornerback. Now, oh boy, not a very good draft class as far as I'm concerned. Let's go ahead, we're going to pick him up. Yeah, the crowd doesn't like that, but the crowd's generally wrong when it comes to... There's still a lot of outside linebackers on the list. Who was I looking at? Not him, he was too slow. Him. He's a 6th round pick, and I think he'll be there, considering how many picks are still on the board. Let's go to the quarterbacks. I want a pocket quarterback. But really, their stats really aren't that far off. He's 6'3", he's 6'4". I do like a tall quarterback. Actually, ooh. I think I'll wait for him. He's 6'7". Oh, that means I need to find someone else to draft. Why didn't I see him before? 390. Yeah, that actually looks like a good pick. It's weird how you don't see guys until you flip back. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at my quarterbacks again. We'll pick him up. So now we can go to all, and we can kind of see if there's anyone worth picking. That cornerback's awfully short. He's awfully slow. He's nice and tall. Larry Woods is pretty quick. He's got 35 bench reps, but with that being pass blocking stat, it's very possible that for a 7th round pick, he's going to have a high strength, maybe 98, 99. And he'll probably have a pass blocking stat in the 80s, but his run blocking could be anywhere from the 40s to the 60s. So I'm always hesitant. If that were balanced, then I would probably pick him up, because that would probably put his pass and run blocking in the mid to high 70s. Which is good for a backup, like a 3rd string backup. Yeah, I think the left outside linebacker is the only one I really think is worth drafting. Alright, so draft is complete. We'll go ahead and save the game just in case anything weird happens. So for a 10th round pick, I'm more than willing to sign him for a 6-year deal. I find when you're signing these guys to contracts, generally take off about 10% of the initial salary offered value, and it's pretty much guesswork. So we'll get a contract all lined up and ready to go. I generally only move the salary offered and don't mess with the signing bonus. And then depending on how good I think the player's going to be, so yeah, he's got some excellent stats, high strength, and mid-80s run block, pass block. I will probably keep him for a long time and trade away one of my other players once his awareness goes up. If his awareness were at 99, his overall would probably be like 95, which would make him one of the best offensive linemen in the league. So with this wide receiver, I'm probably going to sign him for a short time. And I'm looking for the team salary bonus. I've got 29 million cap space, so I shouldn't have any problem. He's probably going to cost me about 3, probably 2. So that's 5. So there's probably, these guys are going to take up maybe 10 million in cap space. Ugh. Yeah, he wants more money than I thought he would. Well, let's try for that initial 3-year deal that he wants. Because that'll get him down to that 3 million figure I was looking at. And if he's real good, I can always trade him away. Even if he's real bad, I can always trade him away. And he's nice and fast. He's got fairly decent catching. Yeah, maybe 3 years was the right way to go with him. Yeah, other than the awareness, he's just about as good as my first round pick. So he turned out well. I think I'll go with 1-year deals for the rest of these guys. And I would probably underestimated how much cap space they were going to cost me by, I don't know, $1 or $2 or $3 million, I'd say. So he was not that good of a pick. Generally, I want acceleration and speed to be over 80. A superstar is going to have a rating on both of those that's over 85, at least. Now my middle linebacker, he's a good backup. I probably won't sign him next year. Now, since he's a quarterback, I'm going to go for a longer term. Let's see, he's 23. We'll renegotiate his contract when he's 25. He's backup. But with the mini drills, I should be able to improve him pretty well. And if your team succeeds into the playoffs, generally you can get a good awareness bump on your backup quarterbacks. He doesn't have the greatest throwing power. He'll probably be nothing more than just a backup. And then Larry Woods, I'm not thinking he'll get very good. Yeah, see, he's borderline with his acceleration and his speed. I doubt I'll sign him again. Even him, I'm not sure. But that's the draft. So we got everyone we needed. I don't believe we need to pick anyone up in free agency. So as you can see, the breakdown would show us if we were deficient at any one position. But we're not, so we'll go ahead and skip through free agency period. And we'll reorder our depth chart. When it comes to my depth chart, I generally like to have my left tackle backing up my left tackle, and so forth. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but if you can hear a dog whining, that's my dog, who is currently having a dream. So now, if you recall, I was going to have my defensive tackle, Tank Johnson, as my right end. It's always good to put a person in an empty spot, because it does affect the overall rating of your team. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll go into the next season. Now I want to come back over here to my defensive line. Now I'm wondering, it should allow me to edit these guys and move them to different positions. I've done it before, I just maybe... That is rather annoying. So we're here to the mini camp, or training camp mini drills. I'm going to go ahead and save it, and I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll end this video, and I'll need to change some resolution things so that you can watch me go through the mini drills. Anyway, till next time.